boxing fans, James Smith from In This Corner at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas as we get ready for Stavern and Wilder a little bit later on. Joined now by unbeaten heavyweight prospect Charles Martin, 19-0, 17 big knockouts. Big guy. Good to see you, champ.
How you doing? Good to see you as well.
Let's talk a little bit about where your career is at this point. Talk about your progression, and we'll get into how you got started in boxing. Kind of a late start, like a lot of the guys today, but talk about how you got in the sport.
I got into the sport, well, when I was like 19, I was younger. You know, I used to go to the boxing gym. You know, my first son's mom used to, her brothers, you know, they box. So they were, you know, putting me in the gym from time to time, and I just wasn't serious with it. You know, until I got an opportunity.
How old were you then, about 19 years old?
Yeah, 19. I got serious when I got the opportunity to come to California for the All-American Heavyweight program. And
Michael King's program?
Yeah, Michael King, yes. That was a blessing right there, because I was looking for something. You know, I was working 2 labor jobs, you know, and going to the boxing gym just to get out there. You know, I was a little guy. I wasn't really a heavyweight, so they didn't want me at first. So I tried everything in my best, you know, in my best strength, you know, just like to get out there. That was my whole thing. So it eventually happened, and I wouldn't let it go for nothing.
Michael King, for a lot of people, don't realize how much he's invested his heart, soul, and his dollars into the sport of boxing, you know, with his heavyweight program. What has it really meant for you personally?
It means everything. It's meant everything to me. I take my hat off, and I love that man for what he did to my life. You know, he changed my life, put me in a good position right now. So Michael King, yeah, that's my man.
And you've progressed well. I mean, 19-0, 17 KOs. You have 1 draw. I think your last 9 opponents you've knocked out. And one of the interesting things about you is you're a big guy, but you fight from that other direction, a southpaw. How has that been effective for you? A big guy and a southpaw with a big, powerful straight left instead of the straight right like Wilder has.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they're like, dang, you confuse me. You confuse me. A lot of my sparring partners, you know, and they really can't get in because as soon as they, you know, I like to let them see this right hand a lot, you know, and then I'll pop them with the left hand, you know, when they get too close. You know, I'm just about keeping my distance, and I got good timing. You know, I'm blessed with the good eyesight, you know, to have good timing. When I'm clicking, you know, I can move, and as soon as they get in, it's like bam. Perfect timing, you know.
Yeah, and very accurate guy, and you're able to your skill set. I've watched you improve each fight out. Let's talk a little bit about you did have somewhat of an amateur career, so it's not like you just jumped right into the pros. Talk about your amateur career.
Yeah, I had about 63 fights in the amateurs. I won a national title, the PAL. The PALs in 2012.
Police Athletic League.
Yeah.
It's actually the birthday today, the 73rd birthday of Muhammad Ali, and that's how he started in the PAL in Louisville, Kentucky. Just some history for you there, young man.
Happy birthday to Ali, too, as well. You know.
Let's talk a little bit about the amateur program, though. Where you were as an amateur compared to where you're at now.
Oh, wow. You know, I used to fall in, like I'll throw a left hand and fall in and stuff like that, you know, or I just didn't know how to, you know, pace myself. You know, it's just a matter of being really calm. They always said I was poised, you know, and I was calm, so I'd make a good pro. So, you know, I didn't really believe in my coaches. I didn't even want to turn pro. You know, I wanted to just win a national title in the amateurs, and I was like, I don't really know what to go from here, you know.
But when you walk in a room, people look at you and they think this guy must be a big wide receiver or a tight end. Did you play any other sports? Football? No other sports?
No,
at this height and you're this.
Yeah.
The hell is going on here? And I'm 5'6", and was a brilliant athlete.
I wasn't good. Like basketball.
You weren't a good athlete?
I was a good athlete, but as far as organizing it to where, like, I could play any position on the court playing basketball, for instance. But when I went to
organize,
and I got to play this one position, I couldn't just grasp it. You know, I couldn't put it all into, okay, I'm playing center, and that's my only position on the court. It just didn't mix with me, and I look like crap. I just run up and down the court, and no one passed me the ball, they didn't notice me, you know, because I just wasn't in the right positions.
Because so many football players who've tried to go over to boxing have so much difficulty, and you haven't. I mean, even though I've seen you really improve a lot, but your basic fundamentals, your basic skill set was there from your opening professional bout, which was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to, the fact that you were able to have at least the balance and the overall skill set without having a great athletic background?
For one, you know, the big old football players, when they come to make that transition to boxing, the first thing they have to do is lose weight, you know, and turn that big bulky muscle into lean muscle.
Right.
When I already, you know, I was on the verge of gaining weight, and it just was I had the lean frame, you know, to add the weight on, so it was a lot easier for me to do, you know.
And I think unbreaking those football rules, you know, the mindset of you know, getting, you didn't have to get out of that because you never had that.
Right.
So one of the things I've noticed so far as a pro, your balance has improved. You have a tremendous, and folks will get a chance to see this. When is your next fight? Is it February 27th?
Yes, sir.
On CBS Sports?
Yes, sir.
And people will get a chance to see that he has Charles has a tremendous straight left, and the guys don't see it coming. What are you trying to improve upon most in the gym right now?
Just staying elusive. I want to remain a boxer. I don't want to get caught up in to where I got to stand there and, you know, trade and want to be that kind of fighter. I find myself doing that from time to time, and I gotta, you know, I'll get some amateur sparring partners in there to get me back on my toes and get me bouncing and stuff, because that's key, man. A heavyweight that can box, that can move, that can be elusive.
And from the other side, Chris Bird did pretty good at it, and Chris Bird wasn't a big guy,
he wasn't a big
like
guy,
you, and he did it all the way to win the heavyweight championship of the world. What is your timetable right now? You have an NABO belt. Again, you're 19-0 with 17 KOs. What is your timetable towards a championship?
I want to get a title shot by this summer. You know, I want to do like 3 more fights in between time, but I'm ready. You know, you got to get it while the getting is good. I'm young. You know, I'm strong. I'm smart. You know, we want the time is now. You know, I'm 28 years old. You know, I'm not going to wait till I'm 30 to try and get a
young
get
28
a fight.
though.
Yeah, I'm a young 28. Oh yeah, I feel 19.
So if there was a guy, I told you, you know, my advice to you was to think Lennox Lewis from the other side. Who are some of the guys that you admire, other heavyweights, for example?
I like Prince Charles Martin. I admire myself, you know, for sure. And Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, Lennox Lewis, definitely. You know, the heavyweight division. I like all the heavyweights. You know, the old heavyweights. They were
all those guys that use their distance, leverage, and timing, and use their heads. Big George obviously used a little bit more than. Who's your favorite fighter of today? Doesn't have to be heavy. Just
today, me, myself.
Okay. Other than you, who is your favorite? Maybe a little guy or somebody a little smaller than you.
All right. I like Lil Pacquiao, man. That little Southpaw. I always root for the lefties. You know, the lefties. They don't see it coming, you know.
Well,
so I like that.
17 of your 19 haven't seen it come in, and hopefully you folks will get a chance to see him coming on CBS Sports on February the 27th. Prince Charles Martin, unbeaten heavyweight prospect. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, sir.